Hello, my name is Carly, and today's Halloween, so I got my toad costume on. But I'm really excited to talk to you guys about The Last Child in the Woods. So, this is a really important section on the test. Um, for some reason, when I present, it doesn't pop up my face, so I guess I'll leave it like this. But there are a few questions on this, so I would really recommend studying this part. So the key points of this section are the relationship between children and nature and how it's changed over time, nature deficit disorder, barriers and benefits, unstructured versus structured time, and capturing time. So The Last Child in the Woods talks about global awareness versus physical intimate contact with nature. So in the past, there were a lot of people who would go outside and get dirty in the woods. They would play in the backyard, dig in the backyard, all of these things. And now we've shifted towards global climate awareness, like recycling, climate change, all these things, but we're spending less time in our environment and in nature. So summer camps, there are more themed summer camps now, like basketball camps, music camps, craft camps, etc. But there are a lot less just like run around in nature camps as there used to be. There used to be a lot more of this like just go and play in the woods. End of natural history, so we're no longer studying species as much, but rather biology at a molecular level. And college students do not intend to be the last child in the woods. So the gifts of nature, there's the Gary Snyder nature, which is like natura, earth, constitution, character, and of course things, the outdoors. Then there's I don't know how to say his name. I'm not good at pronunciation, but he talks about natural wilderness, biodiversity, and abundance. And then there's like a humorous but actually kind of sad quote that we talked about in class about how fourth graders are enjoying, and just elementary schools in general are liking to play indoors more. And Paul, a fourth grader, said, "I like to play indoors because it's where all the electrical outlets are." So, and kids outdoors requires parents outdoors. So the best way to get your kids in nature is to go out in nature with them. So there are a lot of barriers and a lot of reasons why people aren't spending time outdoors, especially young people. So mostly people report it's a lack of time. But part of this lack of time is that the play that they are engaging in doesn't require the outdoors. So there's more TV,
If I can
more
have everyone's attention,
computers.
please, just for 2 seconds. We are giving out free cookies over here at the Library Cafe for anybody who fills out a survey. I only have 2 pans of cookies, so whoever gets there first will get a cookie. So if you guys are interested, come on over.
Sorry, I guess this is what happens when I record in the library. But they're giving out free cookies, so that's exciting. So there is a lack of time, like I was saying, more play that doesn't require the outdoors, and there people are having more jobs on computers. And a young poet whose woods were cut down said it was like they cut down a part of me. Now though, I feel like on average young people wouldn't feel the same way if the woods by their house were cut down. So another major thing that's preventing play outside and decreasing it is the criminalization of natural play. So there are hazards outside, and for example, tree houses are considered fire hazards, where in the past a lot of people would have tree houses, a lot of people would do stuff like that. There are a lot more laws, a lot more government restrictions. There's like an obsession with order, threats of lawsuits. Like there was a mom who got arrested for her children playing outside because they thought that she was abandoning them. So that wouldn't have happened in the past. Free range play is unwelcome. So denatured childhood research shows that there's less leisure time, growing obesity, and the best predictor of a preschool's children's activity level is simply being outdoors. So like if you're outside, you're gonna run around and play, right? And indoor sedentary childhood are linked to mental health problems, unsurprisingly. So there's some international studies. It's not just in the United States that's having this problem. In Japan, kids are more likely to know more Pokemon characters and native species. In England, shrinking natural play space. In Israel, most adults, but only half of kids aged 8 through 11, indicate natural outdoor areas were most significant areas of their childhood. In the Netherlands, young have little contact with nature. 75% have little interest in nature at home. 11 have none. More children play outside less often for briefer time frames, more restricted in home range, and fewer, less diverse playmates. So kids are spending a lot more time alone at home. So the U.S. research backs up the same ideas. There's a 50% decline in percentage of children 9 through 12 who spend time outside. Children's free play declined by 9 hours over a 25-year study. 71% of mothers recalled playing outside every day, and only 26% said their kids did. There's containerized kids, where kids are spending a lot more time in smaller spaces, and their toddlers only have 20 minutes of activity every day. And so exposure to nature may reduce symptoms of ADHD, improve cognition, and increase resistance to negative stress and depression, but the kids just aren't getting that time to spend outside. So it's actually been called the nature deficient disorder, where if you're not spending enough time outside, you have a diminished use of senses, attention difficulties, higher rates of physical and emotional illness. It's not a medical diagnosis, but it is something that has been observed. And if you have a lot of natural abundance, biologically, cognitively, and spiritually blessedness through positive physical contact through nature. So you will be able to improve all areas of your life by just going outside. So the natural child reunion / bringing nature home. Nature is antidote to stress reduction, greater physical health, deeper sense of spirit, more creativity, sense of play, and even a safer life. So all of these benefits are from going outside. The most effective way to connect with our children to nature is to connect ourselves to nature. Children lead by example. Follow the example of what you put forth, and if it's a family time outside, kids are a lot more likely to go outside. Reading about nature with child is another way as an adult to receive a sense of natural wonder, but it's not as effective as just going outside. So a brief history of boredom. Boredom is fear's dull cousin. So it's passive, full of excuses. It can keep kids from nature or drive them to it. It's a two-way thing. So it wasn't really common vocabulary until the 1800s. I always forget which one that is, but until then. And so, yeah, there just wasn't a lot of boredom. But now that we're creating more machines and more things to do stuff, and I'm focused on pursuing happiness, there's a lot more boredom that has been reported. But boredom, if used right, can force creativity, can force, constructive effectiveness. It's not a bad thing to be bored. It's just bad to mindlessly scroll or watch TV to prevent boredom. So these are some ways that you can get back out in nature, simple ways that are easy to reconnect with nature. So you can also capture your time by joining with others that are doing planning and logistics. Analyze the high achievement trap by comparing a list of things each family member loves to do and hates to do. Cut overtime work and some social engagements to take back your time and to really focus on what matters most. So this talks about just the effect of getting back in nature, especially jungle backyard camp. So being completely in nature, especially with other people, can impact confidence, self-esteem, optimism, independence, and autonomy. It also facilitates cooperation, tolerance, compassion, intimacy, and friendship. And there's a lot of benefits from going out in nature for extended periods of time. So every school district should be associated with one or more wildlife and childhood preserves. Partnership with churches, scouting organizations, recreation programs, businesses, conservation art groups, a focus on higher education, commitment to natural history, added appendix for nationwide review of liability laws. So this is good to know as well. And then Richard Louv, who wrote the book The Last Child in the Woods, has coined the term nature deficiency order. And the actual definition is that is the human cost of alienation from nature, among them diminished uses of senses, attention difficulties, and higher rates of physical and emotional illness. Whoa! So I know that was pretty long. I hope it was effective. Feel free to email any TAs with any questions you have or come to our lab. If you study these slides and you look at the reviews and the review sheet, I'm confident that you guys will be able to do really well on this test. So good luck, everyone. Happy Halloween.